Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi fantasy. I'm Michael, and today we've got
Dayveonne, Bussey,
Leone.
Yes, we're GEEKCASTER, everything sci-fi fantasy. We talk about cosplay, we talk about conventions, we talk about animation, we talk about everything that might be considered geek. Yeah, how you guys doing? It's been a long week since we did this show back to back.
behaving.
All right, so the big news is Umbrella Academy. Came out of nowhere for those that didn't know anything about the comic book.
Right.
And it just knocked it out the park. It was one of the guilty, beautiful experiences, or should I say pleasures, Netflix gave us. I mean, what was the last time we got something that amazing? What was it? The Boys, the whole 80s thing. What was that show?
The Boys was on Amazon.
Yeah, you think about Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, right. That's the last time was Stranger Things was like, okay, should we be excited about it? Oh, yes, we're excited about this. And that's what happened with the Umbrella Academy. It's like, oh, yes, we will continue to be amazed and love this. So what do you guys... Did you guys get the same thing from Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I actually really loved it because, it kind of had that, like, lemony?
Schnicket?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it had that type of feel to it, like old
I agree.
Matilda, things in a giant peach feel to it, but, like, now we're dogs.
Right. I agree with that 100%. I could see that. Dayveonne, are you frozen, or you're just super excited? You just couldn't. Oh, I guess he was frozen. So, Corey, you saw season 1, though, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what was your take when you first experienced that show?
My take initially was it was slow building, but it kept my curiosity and interest just enough to make it through. And the second half of the first season is when everything really starts to pick up, like everything comes together, and it just makes so much sense. You're like, what, how, why? And now it made me vested into wanting to go back and reread the comic book.
I just want to give a shout out too, because a lot of times we quickly talk about the actors and then, or the directors, but Steve Blackman, Gabriel Ba, Jeremy Slater, Gerard Way, Lindsay Gaffand, Arian Mitchell, let's see, Allison Winthrop. Just a shout out to the writers on that show because there's a lot going on, especially season 2. I didn't see all of season 2. I saw most of it. I think I have like one episode left. It is all over the place.
I have not seen season 2 yet.
And I'm not, no spoilers. I'm just saying it's all over the place. And at first I was like, oh, what's happening? Are you gonna disappoint me? But then you get in the groove. You get in the groove of where they're going with it, and you're like, oh, okay. This is an interesting way to stretch out a season. I can respect that as a writer.
Okay.
And then you're like, oh, okay. Wait, what's happening next? Once they get you to what's happening next, it's gonna be okay. And remember, we did an episode where we talked about shows where we just had to bow out gracefully. They didn't get you to that point where you actually cared about what's going to happen next. Umbrella Academy Season 2 doesn't do that, so... At least in my opinion, it doesn't do that. Almost. That first episode, when you jump in, you're like, what? But Dayveonne, you saw all of season 2, correct?
Correct.
Did you embrace it right away, or did you have to get into the vibe of how this season was written? Because it was different vibe than the first one.
I'm gonna say it like this.
Answer the question. Then you could say
you embrace it. You have no choice but to embrace it, bro. It's the inevitable. You have no choice but to embrace it.
Why do you say that?
You told me not to spoil it, right?
Well, I mean, you could know. Just how did you feel as far as, because you're also a creative, just from the standpoint of the story building, character building. And I mentioned this earlier when you got thrown off and came back in. It's a different vibe than the first season.
Yes, it's a different vibe. It throws a lot of stuff with history.
Mm-hmm. And that's what got you?
Not even that. It's just the beginning. The first episode got you. Like, I'm going to be honest. The first episode gets you. The story gets you.
Mm-hmm.
Characters get you. New characters get you.
Okay.
It's like a ball it's like an elastic ball that you do use when you make a rubber band ball.
Mm-hmm.
You keep building and building and building until you got a gigantic rubber ball. That's the best way to put this show.
Now, Sailor Leone, you saw first, again, in my memory, you saw season 1.
Yes, I've seen season 1.
And as you watched it, how did you feel watching that season? What's your take on the development and the characters?
Honestly, I like the different perspectives, and also seeing like each family member in their own, seeing their powers, seeing how it grew, seeing how it could be helped. I enjoyed that more than the full storyline.
Okay.
More so, but I'm ready for the next season. We're ready to go.
Oh yes.
I mean, like, they left us on a huge cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Now watching Ellen Page, and she played 7. The best way to describe their character development for her was a rubber band. How they went, stretch, and you're like, the end of season 1, you're like, all right, well, there's nowhere to go, because she was all the way down here. She was like this, and then there's nothing left. And I think the clever thing about this season is, boom, brought you right back here. And allowed her to stretch. I thought it was super interesting. But out of all the characters, as far as showing depth, we got to see a lot more from Emmy Raver Lampton, which I thought was great, because we really got to see more from her. And what was
the guy that played Diego?
No, number 5, Aiden Gallagher. He plays a really good old man as a young kid playing an old man. And we really got to see a lot from him, too.
I really like his character a lot.
Mm-hmm.
His character is most interesting to me.
Yeah.
But I also had, like, honestly, you know what else it makes me feel like? Old X-Men movies. And I'm sorry, I know how many people hate X-Men, but I love X-Men so darn much. I love all of it. I don't care how bad these movies are.
Who hates X-Men?
I love all of it. I love seeing, like, mutation, seeing how different people use it, and how, even how society treats them differently, and how they work in society. So, yeah, I was hyped. I was like, oh my god, what are their powers? What can you do? Okay, can we talk about the cringe moment with the siblings and, like, being in love and...
Oh.
I would say those... Never mind, I ain't gonna say that.
Don't talk about that.
Don't spoil it.
But anyways, how do you feel about him? Because I really got, like, really crazy, like, coming of age X-Men movie from him in particular and his character growth.
Yeah.
Like,
I love when they show when they're little. I just have there's a picture up with them right now. They did a really good job with casting.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of really good actors in this, and I hope they get the just due. You guys know that Emmys as well as the Oscars now are looking at all the streaming platforms as
At the moment, yeah.
possible winners of these awards, and I hope Umbrella Academy gets something. I hope they get something.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
This question was posed to me. Do you think you would have stayed vested into the story if it wasn't for Ellen Page?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. And
Yeah.
the second follow-up is, do you think she adds another layer, or could her character have been recast and still have been good?
Well, I don't know what's gonna happen in season 2 yet, so like I'm hoping it adds another layer.
I haven't watched season 2 either, so
Okay.
Nice.
this is just a question asked to me about Umbrella Academy, and I was posing those questions back to you guys.
Okay, so to be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I like Ellen Page where she is. If she was recast, I don't know. Cause
Like,
that's
who else is supposed to act that person? It's like her and Michael Cera. Why are they not cast as that specific person? You know who they are.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and there's people that don't know who they are, but for her to do that role as number 7, she did an awesome job, a phenomenal job. So I can't vouch and say someone else could do a way better job, because when they presented her, I'm like, okay, cool. Like, let's see what she can do, and she did her thing. That's the best.
It kind of follows the Netflix formula of have a whole bunch of good actors and one well-known person. So it's like, could they have done this show with a completely unknown cast?
But the thing about it is, as for me, I only know her from certain video games that I've been playing.
Video games.
Yeah, she actually they computerized her whole body, and she's voice acted. I think Beyond Two Souls. Yeah, she's in Beyond Two Souls, PlayStation 4 and 3 game,
Oh, I mean,
I'd love to see it.
and that's the only way I know her.
Mm-hmm.
Juno, Flatliners, Hard Candy. She's been what was it? The one where she played a roller derby. I think it was called Whiplash or something like that. It was pretty good.
Yeah,
Good actress.
but that's the only thing I know her from. I never heard, I wouldn't recognize her from any of those films until you said it.
So the thing about her is this character basically kind of bites into the type of person that she portrays in all of her movies. This really deep, you can say broken or flawed, but there's a person who has multi-layers. She plays those characters very, very, very well. So it's just kind of like a opinion if you can find someone who can also do that. But
Are you waiting for an answer?
no, I was just posing a question.
Okay, my answer is yes. That's they could have gotten someone else. I think she's done a great job, but there's not that much there that you say, oh my goodness, like when Jamie Foxx did Ray. There's so many things there that like, nope, I can't see anyone playing, because you stretched him so far as an actor that all the notes that he hit, I don't see anyone else hitting it. There wasn't that much for her. Even in season 2, I think that you could have got someone else to do it. That doesn't take away that she did a great job of what she was given.
No, not at all. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like even Justin H-Man, which he plays, what was it? What number was he? 6?
The one that's dead?
The ghost one, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
6.
So he did a great job of what he was given, and you actually saw more screen time for him in season 2. But was it enough that another great actor couldn't have done? Yeah, because it wasn't that much for him to do. You know, I'm glad they gave him more screen time though. He needed that. I'm hoping season 3 they'll figure out a way to, you know, give him a lot more. Emmy, season 2 is gonna give her more work. So I'm very proud of what she was able to do, and they gave her a lot more, and she hit, without spoilers, but this season hits a lot of social history kind of things, and topics that are very relevant without spoiler alert things going on. So when you see it, you're like, oh, that's what it might. So worth it to see.
I did see one episode of her in a restaurant, and I'm not going to ruin the scene. I just can say coffee and more. And other than that, that's the only scene that I've seen.
And by the way, when you do see that scene, think of her and being in a diner. That actually really happened in history. And I'll leave it at that.
It does.
Yeah, that really does happen. All right. Is there anything bad about season 2 that we can mention?
What to tell you?
Talk to me.
No, I said no. There's nothing bad. No.
Okay. Wow. Look at his face, ladies and gentlemen.
He's that confident.
He's like, no. He said no so hard his computer froze. That's how strong that no was. It's funny. Some of the issues I might have had in watching it, they cleaned it up by the end of the series. So, like, you ever watch a movie and you're like, okay, where'd this person come from that was so left field, that didn't make sense? So then after you could see it was definitely cleaned up, we're like, oh, okay, all right, I'll let it go. So those things happen. So, but that's it. I think we got something good there. Well, hopefully Dayveonne can come back in, because, wow, he's intense. Were there any other shows that made you feel like Umbrella Academy, but this didn't get the hype? Because I thought the one that you mentioned, Sailor Leone, got me, but no one talks about it.
The Boys?
No, what's it? The Unforeseen...
A Series of Unfortunate Events.
There you go, Series of Unfortunate Events. No one's talking about it.
And not Madeline, what's it called? What's her name? I just said it. So, it says to the M. Matilda. That's what it kind of gives me, like, remnants of.
Why do you think, I don't know why I can never say it, but the series of unfortunate events, how come people, because the makeup was great, the acting was great, Neil Patrick Harris, if you ever doubted his talent, watch that series and you will never doubt that man's talent ever again.
I wasn't even, like, thinking just of the series, but, like, even, like, when I read the books, you know.
But I'm specifically talking about this series, because we're talking about the series right now. Yeah. But you did see the whole series.
I didn't see this.
You didn't? What?
Plot twist.
Plot twist. Dun, dun, dun. That's what I was talking about. All right.
It's okay.
You need to... No. You need to watch that, and we need to talk about it. Even if it's not on the show, even off the show. You and me, we need to talk about it, because not many people can pull that off. Again, like I said, the whole thing with Jamie Foxx, this series is one of those things where Neil Patrick Harris, like, I see you. Did you guys see the series or no? The Netflix series?
No.
I saw the movie.
Okay.
But I didn't see the series.
Gotta see the series. All right, kiddies, that is the homework. You gotta see that with Neil Patrick Harris. And he also was one of the, or if not the executive producer of it. He wore a lot of hats, and when you watch it, he was all over the place. Super impressive. If you sing, dance, act, want to do characters, want to do drama, want to do comedy, this should be mandatory to see his performance. Yes, I am gassing it that high.
You're always going to be Doogie Howser to me.
Actually, you know what? You watch this, you'll be like, he's Doogie Howser, and then he's series of unfortunate events. It is that high. I think if you look at his career as far as that's definitely a high point. Yup. And how many times I've said that about anybody? I know. What did you think about what was the one with the Wayans brothers, where he attempted to do multiple family members? Did you guys see that one?
Oh, the 6 people.
Sextuplets.
The sex trouble. Something.
It was funny. It was funny, but like his type of funny, like old school black funny, where it's kind of like,
Eddie Murphy.
No, stop that.
Eddie Murphy.
No, when I say old school black, I'm talking like you gotta think Friday, okay? Like you gotta think Friday.
Okay.
Or like
You mean
Day from Friday for a whole movie?
And y'all just standing here while she doing this stuff.
A whole movie for 6 people in the movie.
Oh,
Wow.
well, were you entertained? Maybe we should start there.
I watched the whole thing, but like,
Okay.
I could have watched, like, I don't feel as bad as I felt when I watched that lottery movie with Bow Wow, but like, I could have not watched it.
Wow.
I laughed at this, you know, like, I laughed at it. I'm not gonna say, you know, this was trash, but like, you put money into that. Wow.
What was
watch it again?
What about his performance? Do you think?
I mean, I feel it's the same characters though. It's the
Oh
same
wow.
characters, but different personalities, but the same character. Over and over again. And we've seen you do the same character. Like if he gave us a character where he acted like his brother.
Interesting.
If he could show us that change
Mm-hmm.
and difference, because yeah, you can act 3 different people, but they're all still similar.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like his brother's still always the meek and mild one.
Gotcha. Wow, I never thought of it that way. Now when I'm looking at back and I'm like, you have a point.
I have a question. Do you think Hollywood has a stereotypical setup for us as black people to stay a certain way when it comes to movies and television shows?
Yes.
Now, do you think we should change that and explore other avenues?
I think we are. I think there's so many black creators working their butts off right now to be seen. I know that Jordan Peele has like really put out some very intricate pieces. Like, guys, we got Moonlight. Like, not by him, but like in this era of movies, we're getting black people in so many different facets of life. I think that's super cool. But it's like really like annoying to always get that stereotype. But also that stereotype is also someone's life, you know? It's like, yeah, it's not my life, but it's someoe's life.
Mm-hmm. That brings
us funny to a lot of people. Like, you have to understand, like, people still think Kevin Hart is funny.
He's not funny.
He has his moments.
But there are people who still think he is. There are people who still like Steve Harvey all the time, like who think he's like a good person to listen to about relationship advice. Okay, like there are people. There's an audience for it. So I feel like audience for the Six Couplets movie. There was audience for the Six Couplets movie, and it's like that's cool. You know, I laughed. I don't feel as bad as how I watched the Bow Wow lottery movie. But this could have been something better. We could have reached further. But if that's what you want and that's what you like and that's him pushing further because he's acting 6 different people. That is work, you know? So it's work for his type of humor. Like, there's a lot of comedians I don't find funny, but that's just because of, like, my viewpoints, so.
Well, I tell you one thing, though, the makeup artists, they deserve an award. And that's something I think, hands down, I don't think anyone could argue that with Sextuplets, because they did a really good job. I mean, they actually, now taking in your perspective and looking at their performance again in my mind, what really helped really was the makeup. They did such a good job, you know, that really all you got to do is do your thing. I hope they work on the next Coming to America. Whoever worked on his project, because they were amazing.
I said I hate you.
Why?
It made me laugh.
Yeah, Coming to America. I'm looking forward to that, man. Part 2. Excuse me, part 2.
I'm questioning it.
What? I really want Michael Blackson to, like, never be a comedian ever. It would be great for me. Because honestly, it screwed up a lot of lives for Africans in America.
What, like, his performance? His...
Hate these stereotypes. Nope. I don't care his performance, nothing. Don't ever. Michael Blackson, it's not performing. It's literally like, you know how y'all don't like someone, like, you know, dancing for you know, YT people, you know, dancing.
You're talking about Bojangles.
But you know what, I'm just saying, like, you know how you guys feel about when a black person is, like, you know,
buffoonery
for the show.
YT. That's what it feels like for me. You're literally dogging other Africans as a joke to get money. You're literally trashing, putting out false stereotypes that we have to deal with because that's what you're showing America, and you're the sole person making money off of this. So this is great.
But you
I don't like him.
But you have
African comedians.
There are other comedians that's doing the same exact thing. So
yeah, but still, no. Why are you doing that? Like, what are you doing?
Just to exploit the concept to make money, like you said.
By the way, I have a picture up of Do the Right Thing. Shout out to
like
Tribeca movie.
Constantly make watermelon jokes. Like, are you done? Are you done? No, of course not. There are a lot of ways Africans can be funny. Y'all know that because you know me. You know
right. Well, you know what? We almost run out of time, so we will continue that because I think it's important. We will do a whole episode on that because I think it's really important. But before we go,
yeah, we should do it.
Shout out to Tribeca Film Festival. They showed Do the Right Thing, an important film. Everybody give your social media.
Dayveonne Bussey on all social media platforms. And the Jamal Williams Show.
Corey Davis, I am GT3 on all the things.
Sailor Leone, I am Sailor Leone Cosplay or Sailor Leone on all platforms.
Cool. Michael Seven Michael on IG. And again, Do the Right Thing. They have a series and they're showing drive-in movie because of what's going on in the world, keeping people separate. So you could check out that film and a series of a whole bunch of other films on different locations in New York. Tribeca Film Festival. Check that out. And yes, we will do a whole episode on the buffoonery. I think it's important. It is very important. You guys are watching GEEKCASTER. Thank you and continue to support. Here we go.